Okay, so quick little, or big update, but quick little wrap up of this escrow program. So, um, I have discovered this fabulous UI toolkit called Skeleton, nicely coupled with Tailwind and Svelte and SvelteKit. So it's awesome. Thanks to Huntabyte, YouTube channel, you Huntabyte. This guy lots of experience. Trust a lot of the stuff that he's teaching. He's just kind of come up with a fabulous um, series on Svelte and SvelteKit, and just doing some really cool stuff. Really knows what he's doing, much more than I do. So it's been fun to learn from him about the latest SvelteKit changes. So this guy, through that, he mentioned something about he's experimenting with using skeleton over something like Daisy UI, which I was using with great success. Daisy UI is a little bit more uh, agnostic when it comes to which front end framework, but I just don't have the time to learn them all. I've experimented with React and Vue, and I just find Svelte and SvelteKit to be just the most intuitive. And I really need to just kind of stick with one. And so far, Svelte is kind of clicking with me. I like the use of stores and whatnot. So, quick little shout out um, to Huntabyte for all that he's doing. Amazing work. Fun to follow. So I would do that. So back to my escrow program, I have everything is pretty much in order. I've completely revamped this whole thing, and this is kind of a big upgrade from the original platform. I had this was SvelteKit pre 1.0, so they after 1.0, I've updated to everything. And it took me a while just to completely port it over because between SvelteKit, big update for them, where they've completely redone their routing. So here now you have this kind of syntax with the plus sign in front of things, and every route has its own kind of page and page. So there's some stuff in here that I've been experimenting with, and it's been nice. So I've basically kind of ported over my whole thing to SvelteKit 1.0, as well as Anchor on the Anchor side of things. They have recently made a big push and update to Anchor version 0.26. So between these changes, it was time to. I really wanted to take advantage of SvelteKit's new 1.0 features. They've got like form actions and these kind of server files that, I mean, you could do it before, but I kind of wanted to update and be able to follow along with kind of the latest best practices. So, hence all the big changes. And with that, I've simplified some things with the escrow. So the validation is not 100%. I have not enabled SOL transfers. That's a completely different beast. But I'm really happy with just being able to utilize skeleton components and being able to do kind of like some pretty decent SPL to SPL token exchanges. So even added like a little search here. There's some things that I can do. So if I start typing in like a token, um, the token AAV, blah 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 blah. Like if that token is involved, then it will filter out, or those sorts of things. So when you log in, if you've created the escrow, you can kind of click on view, which didn't know how to best do that, but right now I heavily use stores to kind of track of all this stuff. But when I click into it, it comes to the correct escrow PDA address route. And if the connected wallet is, if this escrow is no longer active. Like it has actually been processed. Then I've added this like little visual processed, and it's not that good. But I mean, the functionality is there. Kind of shows some of the details about which tokens were exchanged. The amounts I need to, consider like making it more UI friendly, because this is like the raw amounts. So there's things that I could do. The current escrow store that I'm using for this, that kind of helps with the data, doesn't include the mint decimals and stuff. Like I've on this main page, I have more happening, and I'm not going to go over it because I've done that in the past videos. But anyway, it's nice. Here, tokens are available, shows the amount. If I wanted to initialize another escrow, say this token, for example, I want more of this. Right now, I have this like hack where it's just like copy and then paste that. Obviously, this is not the best UX, but I want that token, and in exchange, I'll maybe say 0.5 of this token for 1 of that token. And if I hit create escrow, something should pop up. Why is it not popping up? Let me see what's happening. I've been away from this, so it may have something RPC. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm on the wrong chain and wrong wallet. So let me go back to this and change it over to the correct network. Yeah, I was on mainnet, which I'm not doing. So if I go back to this, let me just kind of disconnect and reconnect. Refreshes should work now. Let me try this again. User store values are missing. Yeah, I've kind of broke something with this. I think the issue is just because I've had this running in the background and I've been changing networks and stuff. But let me see. So I have 2.6, 2. Yeah, all right. So let's try this again. So copy. There's a cool like copy clipboard utility, or Svelte component clipboard that Skeleton provides, something that I want to maybe try adding to that. I thought that would be kind of fun. But yeah, we'll do that later. So, I want to get rid of 0.5 of this token, and in exchange, let's go for 1 of these. Now let's see if I get lucky. Yeah, okay. Approve the transaction, and boom. Now we have this new exchange in place. And I think it's this last one. There's obviously things I can do to kind of clean it up. But if I click on this, it takes me over here, to the new route, and it's not processed. And as the owner, the authority, I should say, I can cancel it. And here's kind of the raw amounts and stuff. So not bad. So I think I'm going to leave the escrow program more or less like this, because I have a new project idea, and I'll get to that next. But one of the things that I have learned about with SvelteKit, and just kind of talking with the team and people in Discord, is that for example, these view buttons, I am currently using SvelteKit's go-to handler. I have like this little custom handler, navigate and set escrow store, and I'm passing the store, and I'm going to this route, which is like, it's doing like a promise. I'm doing this whole set, the escrow store here, and it works okay. But having spoken with the team and just others who are more experienced with SvelteKit, I really need to take advantage of using the load functions, from possibly doing from a layout server. One idea, where I'm basically fetching all of my Escrows accounts data here at using like this layout server file, which will then do some pretty cool stuff. Like SvelteKit's got, what you retrieve here basically enables you to access a data object on the page. And rather than, basically the recommendation is, rather than doing just manually updating and keeping track of all these stores, better would be to use these kind of loads, and then you have, especially from this layout server, you then have access to the page data, where as like kind of just general, after you export and return whatever data you do from there, you then have access to this thing, object called data on the front, and not only just at the page, but all child pages. So this is something in the SvelteKit documentation. So people have kind of recommended that I go that approach versus manually updating and keeping track of stores. That way I would be able to use standard like anchor links and such to do the navigation. And then when I hit a unique PDA route through this data object, I would be able to filter and find the matching escrow, and kind of verify it matches with the page, SvelteKit's page.params .pda for my example, for example. So really cool idea, something I want to do. That said, I've done so much with these stores, they're quite involved. And right now, for the most part, the functionality works. I can cancel, move on, and now it's removed, so it's working as is, more or less. And so I think I'm going to not completely scrap and do that big revamp. But I'm going to try this approach and really leverage SvelteKit's built-in tools a bit better for my next project, which involves working with ledger accounts. And so, yeah, got some ideas, but really enjoying the changes to SvelteKit 1.0. It has the form actions and things like that I want to try. Maybe have a better chance of implementing Zod for form validation and whatnot. But yeah, not bad overall. Feel really happy with it. And Skeleton's UI has been, the UI toolkit has been really helpful to kind of replace some components and remove them, altogether, and just use things that Skeleton provides out of the box. And it's got all the right, styling needs for me. So pretty cool stuff. For example, too, they've got Skeleton has some fun, little pop-ups and things like these little alerts and stuff, just already ready-made. So yeah. Anyway, so that's that for the Escrow project. But I'm going to be utilizing some of what I've done here with this program for my next ledger idea. So stay tuned. Hopefully this was helpful.